It's time for the Gettin Outdoors podcast, Town Country United Bank Lake Millers Ferry Weekend Hunting and Fishing Report. A weekly update on water conditions, ramp events, generating schedule, what's biting, and seasonal hunting information with outdoor reporters Joe Allen Dunn, Kevin Sims, and Shane Jones. This weekly hunting and fishing report is brought to you by the good folks at Town Country United Bank in Camden, Alabama, serving their customers for over 40 years. Town Country United Bank's highest priority is satisfied customers. Now, here's your weekend Lake Millers Ferry hunting and fishing report.
All right, Big Daddy, here we go.
There he is. Team Bigfoot, baby. Another one on the B&B Silver Shade. Team Bigfoot in the house.
Shane Jones crappie fishing.
Got it. First one, 2023, smackdown.
Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Gettin Outdoors podcast 213 Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report for the weekend of April the 14th through April the 16th, 2023. Y'all done got your taxes done? Because Saturday's deadline.
I got mine done, thank goodness.
Outdoor reporter Joe Allen Dunn and Shane Jones fishing, and appreciate y'all sitting in with me. Kevin is back in Livingston, Alabama, bucking out. Brody's doing some practicing today, and he wanted to go up there, and I don't blame him. Let me tell y'all, I struggled Monday morning trying to figure out what I was going to do for a podcast this week, and I reached out to Eddie Salter and David Hawley and Lyle Gilbert with Houndstooth calls, and I was going to get a mid-season turkey report from them three and just put it all together, but Lyle's out in Texas hunting. Ain't no telling where David Hawley is. I did get a report from Eddie, but I went back, and what I love to do, Shane, if y'all never been to my website, GettinOutdoorsRadio.com, up in the top right-hand corner, I have a archive of every radio show I did from 2013 till I retired in 2019. I got every live show up there. And I went back and found the 2016 June interview that me and Marcel Ledbetter, Jason Ledbetter, did with the Rick Connor, who caught the 80-pound state record flathead catfish in the Alabama River up in Dallas County. And it is just a great interview, and he's just a super nice guy. And I replayed that on today's podcast. So it is really good, and I think y'all really going to enjoy it. And Joe Allen, in the interview, Jason was talking about jugging in June and using 20-foot lines. You know, we didn't even talk about them. Didn't even nobody know about them 30-foot lines back in 2016. So that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. We got a good crowd. Wayne Edgeworth, good morning. He's Happy birthday, Wayne. I think today is Wayne's birthday. Freddie over in Meridian. Appreciate you sending me them pictures the other day, Freddie. Lee Peacock had a great article in today's Camden paper about the groundbreaking at the Millers Ferry Lock and Dam. I'm going to try to get a copy of it and put it on my Facebook. Bud Williams is tuned in. Jared Hudson. Appreciate all y'all. The Reeling Rednecks is tuned in. Noonan Hall over in Natchez, Mississippi. Kayla McGillberry, Lance Cabinet, and my old faithful friend and listener, Robert Hutchison. Talking about the newspaper, today's headlines on the newspaper, they made an arrest for the landowner that pulled the shotgun on the anglers. He was arrested. He turned himself in, but they swore out a warrant. He was arrested for interfering with hunting and fishing and menacing. So I hope he learns a lesson, and I hate that happened. It was bad for everybody, but maybe he learned his lesson and can understand how things work on that lake. Sonny, Kentucky, how y'all?
That ought to show everybody else what can happen when you pull a stunt like that.
That's right. That's exactly right. And I don't think anything would have ever been done if he hadn't had that shotgun. I think that shotgun's what kind of got him in all that trouble.
Oh, yeah.
And also, they in the paper today, they made the announcement the 17th, which is Monday, y'all. That's Monday. They are going to shut the road down coming from 28 Shane. If you coming from your way, of course, you won't come all the way into Canada.
No, sir. I never make it into town unless we go to eat. So.
When you go to Larry's, though, you're going to have to go down. You got to turn.
Oh, yeah, I got to go to Larry's.
You go to 221 and go that way. You can't go through the four-way stop.
That's going behind your house like we go the back way, right?
Yeah, like we go the back way to Joe Allen. Instead of turning right, turn left, and it comes out down there. Well, we went to Possum Bean Grocery, and you turn left and go to Camden. Okay. Come out to the Methodist Church. Okay. And if you're coming from Marion or Thomaston or Demopolis or Linden, you're going to have to turn on 221 there at your old store, Joe Allen, and come out at McDonald's Grocery. And the little cars can turn there and go to Camden, come out at the Methodist Church. But the big trucks are going to have to go all the way down to Highway 41, and they're routing all those big trucks right through downtown Camden.
Are they going to have detour signs?
Oh, yeah, they putting up them big signs. They've been putting them up for 2 days. They got signs everywhere.
That's good. That way you don't get lost. That's good.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a pain in the rump. Miss Dottie's tuned in. Your son is not here today, Miss Dottie. He's over there. Him and Brody are bucking out some broncs in Livingston this afternoon. But y'all heads up on that road closure. Everybody knows the log cam's gone. I got to find another place to put it. We are looking for a place as we speak. I did want to put this up here right quick before we get into the hunting and fishing report, because I know all of y'all watched it, and I have a what you call a time-lapse camera, and I really enjoy that time-lapse camera, and I set it up when they put my storm shelter in Monday, and this is about 9 hours of work in 1 minute. Cool. I like that time lapse camera, but
that's pretty cool.
It is. Birding. I know the blue grosbeaks are here. The indigo buntings are here. I'm looking any day now for the rose-breasted grosbeaks, the hummingbirds. I got plenty of hummingbirds, martins. Joe Allen, you got martins. I
Yep.
saw the fathonetary warblers on the river the other day. Those are little yellow birds that you see on the river. So we have got, and boy, they had a bird tagging down at Dolphin Island this weekend, and they caught some painted buntings, and those are some beautiful, beautiful birds. That's on my bucket list. I want to see a painted bunting, and I want to see a scissor-tail flycatcher. It's a lot of scissor-tail flycatchers up your way, Shane. Up there
There's
between.
all kinds of birds. I don't pay attention. I see a dove every now and then. I really don't pay
Well,
attention.
you know what? You know what I tell people like you? You don't know it, but you are a birder because you see them in the river all the time. And
Oh yeah, I seen a bunch of martins in Florida this weekend.
Yeah. But
Eagle. I seen the biggest eagle I ever seen this weekend.
yeah, there's plenty of them. I got a great video of an eagle too on my Facebook page. And Joe Allen, I'm sorry, Shannon Tucker. I'm gonna have to go have a heart to heart with him now because he needs to be sitting there with you right there because you don't live a mile from where he lives, and it wouldn't hurt him to come sit in with us because he put up a post on those Razor 4-wheelers that's jacking them up, and I saw where Kevin Jenkins, he's got about 5 of them, and they go somewhere every weekend to these mud riding places, and I want to know more about it. And Shannon is selling the heck out of those lifted mud riding Polaris. What are they? Razors is what they call them, right?
Yeah. The places they go, one of them I know of for sure is at Bogs and Boulders. I don't know where it's at, but I asked Shannon about it. And it's, I said, how many acres is that place? He said it's about 800 acres, but it's a campground and a park. And the people go and stay all weekend just to ride around, you know.
Yeah. There's one up here
They don't have, you know, most people ain't got a place to really go riding like that. And that's getting real popular. Well, it's been going on now for a while, but Shannon told me that much, and I tried to get him to come on last 2 weeks. He's the out busiest man I ever seen in my life. Can't take a break.
Well, he got time to go hunting. He got time to go hunting and go down there and cook and drink all night long. He ought to have time to sit in with us for a minute or two.
Well, I got a report on him this morning. He got after a turkey, and he walked he was over a mile and a half chasing him somewhere, and he couldn't turn around and walk back, so he called Todd to come around and pick him up.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to the turkey report, because you see the report from Todd. One more thing I want to remind everybody, next weekend right here in Camden, Alabama, they moved the location from downtown because of the road closure to the airport, the Mark Curl Memorial 12th Annual Barbecue Cook-Off. If you have a cook team, you want to get in it, or if you want to be a vendor, you need to get up with Michael this week and get in there, because that's going to be a huge event. It is every year, and I'm going to have to apologize right now. I'm not going to be able to fly the drone because you can't fly a drone that close to the airport. And so I'm not going to be able to fly the drone, but I'm sure Michael will have some great pictures from the Mark Curl Memorial Barbecue. That'll be next weekend in Camden at the airport. Hey, Keith Chick Melton, how you doing? Listening from Crawford, Alabama. Appreciate you tuning in. Will Russians tuned in. Michael Hilliard, you fishing this weekend? The river. We're going to talk about the river in a minute, Michael. I think y'all are going to be okay at that Alabama Catfish Series tournament in Selma, but we'll talk about it in a minute. Todd Prater's tuned in, and Luke Cobb and Leon Andrews, Christina Daly. How you doing, my little friend? Alice Sheffield, my sister's being up in Washington State. So appreciate all y'all tuning in. Todd said he's got a story. I guess you're talking about those mud riders in the Selma Sun Black Belt News Network. I'll have to look it up. Jason Domain's tuned in. How you doing, Jason? Oh, the barbecue. You're talking about the barbecue. Okay, Todd's got a story about the barbecue. All right, the only thing I got left on my notes here before we get to the fishing report, Shane, is crappie cast, buddy. You done plowed up some new ground with that crappie cast.
Yeah, we having fun with that, baby.
You really are giving away a bunch of stuff, and you and John and y'all won't let Jessica talk, but she does. Right? She does.
Oh yeah, she'll get on every now and then. She'll tell some stories.
She definitely makes the scenery look better, don't you, Joel?
Yes, and she knows how to catch a fish. You can't get her to talk.
Yeah. Old Big Mama Bryant Taylor's on here. He's gonna be fishing that Alabama Catfish Series tournament Saturday. But anyhow, who you got on now Thursday night?
Gregory Goes is gonna be on there. He's a local guy here. He fishes a lot of ponds and creeks around here, catches a bunch of fish. So he's gonna give a little bit of perspective for us. You know, he fishes the bank a lot, and a lot of people ask questions on the show and want to know, heck, he catches them. So he's gonna come on and just answer a few questions. Just join us on the show tomorrow night at 7:00. So
yes, sir, and it'll be on Shane Jones Crappie Fishing Facebook and YouTube. And I see Taylor and Jessica Ward are tuned in. Every time I've rode by CT Ward Power Sports this week, I seen Taylor out there, and 2 or 3 folks will be up in them boats. He I don't know if he's selling them, but he's showing them this week. I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, it's been pretty weather. You're gonna sell them boats during that pretty weather.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report for the weekend of April the 14th through the 16th, 2023. And I call the Millers Ferry Powerhouse, the Jones Bluff Powerhouse. They are running 3 units around the clock at both places. Are the floodgates open? Do you know?
No, well, I don't. I would say yes.
Yeah, I expect they are. And we got a rain coming in Thursday, but I don't think it's going to hurt anything. Do you, Shane?
I don't think we're gonna get a lot. Usually when I watch Weather Channel, they'll say they'll give a measurement, a 1/4 inch or a inch expected. It didn't say anything, so hopefully they'll move through fast and we don't get no bad weather out of it. So.
I was out on Millers Ferry Friday. The river temperatures were 66, 68 degrees. In the sloughs, 68. I even saw some 72-degree weather that afternoon, water that afternoon. So it's warming up out there. It sure is. Let's start with the catfish. Old Possum Jones and Big Flint over there on the Tom Bigby. They've been turkey hunting and running some limb lines over there. They ain't been doing too good turkey hunting, but they catching the heck out of some fish running them limb lines. I did mention the Alabama Catfish Series Catfish Tournament is this weekend out of the Selma City Marina. I think they go from 7. I don't know what time they come in. But Aaron Knight's on here too. Yeah, Aaron, he won this weekend. We're going to talk about that in a minute. He would say the floodgates are open. Aaron won that Alabama crappie tournament this weekend, and he whooped some pretty good. He put some pretty good fishermen up there, didn't he, Shane?
He sure did.
All right, and talking about catfishing, the Jugging Open is coming up June the 16th, and that interview that I replayed with me and Jason, we were talking about June jugging, so you might want to listen to it, Joe Allen. But if you're coming catfishing, what's in play? Jugs, limb lines might be in play if we get a little rise on the river this weekend.
Yeah, the limb lines and stealing the sloughs, flats, just depending on where that water's at, that's the main key. And it's, it changes every time. But into the sloughs, I've been watching some limb lines in a lot of those places, a lot of limb lines that I've seen people had. And those work good where if you want to put those out and not have to chase them down the next day, they're constant, they're stationary, they're going to work good. That's going to be in the sloughs. The river is still running a little too fast. We are still in the sloughs, but things are fixed to go to transitioning. It ain't got quite here yet, but by the end of the month and the first of next month, things will start moving on back out into the edge of the river, fishing cuts. You can tight line and stuff like that. That's coming up. But right now, you're still going to do better in the flats and the sloughs and in the backwater for your catfish right now. The big key, somebody was saying, what about bait? And me and Travis was talking about that. This water's been staying up. You know, we're hoping we're not going to miss being able to get some skipjack. But if it stays up too long, we liable to miss it, not be able to get any. Because I know the last 2 weeks ago when I was fishing, there was a big shad spawn up in G's Bend. So once you go to having those shad spawns, you know, that's your bait you're hunting. They usually move up behind the powerhouse and you'll have millions of shad back there when all this is going on. But now with it staying high all the time, it's going to create a short window there for us to get bait. So hopefully that water get down and stay down during some of the spawns, and we get some extra bait to have for the upcoming season with the catfish.
Well, Michael Hilliard, Big Bama Brian, and Hound Dog said if y'all need some skipjack, they got plenty of them. They got down there and got them while they were running.
They hit one little peak there when the water was down right.
Yeah.
And if we don't get that much rain this weekend, I would say next week is going to be prime for getting bait. And if it is, then I'll probably stay over there about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and get bait next week.
Okay. All right. Well, that's a pretty good catfishing report. And Travis Hudson, I put it up there. He says, and I agree, take your limb lines down when that water falls. I see a lot of them still hanging up, and them cranes and blue herons and all get hung up on them, and that is a bad way to die on one of them things. Yeah, Will, I forgot the Jefferson, Alabama barbecue is this Saturday. First come, first served. They ain't putting up none for nobody. So if you want some, you better get there early. Some of the, if not the best barbecue in the Southeast at Jefferson, Alabama this Saturday. All right. I don't know anything about bass other than the IP tournament this weekend. And, that is a employees only tournament, and the Poe Man's Classic is in Demopolis this weekend, but I think you had to qualify for that. It's not an open tournament. So that's all I know. Joe Allen Bass Fishing, the last tournament they had, Maddie's tournament, it was awful, but the weather and the river was awful. Have you heard anything? Is it anything better now?
Well, it's still inside for, like I said, with these shad spawns they're hitting now, following food, they're going to be there where it's at. And also your spots, some of them are done spawned and done coming out. They'll be in the edge of that muddy water at the edge of the river too. But I know that last week when I was 2 weeks ago when I was fishing, they pulled the water down and there was all kind of fish still around those stumps, bass, crappie, whatever. But, when that water goes up, they're going to stay in there. But when it pulls down, they're going to come out. So you're just going to have to hunt them maybe around some of the grass or stumps. They ain't going to be nothing but mostly spots in the river right now. That's in those cuts and stuff.
Well, it is going to, you're going to have to fish for them. Ain't that what we say, Shane? You got to fish for them.
That's exactly right. Hey, you don't know. It changes all the time.
All right, let's go to crappie fishing. Beth Ann and Gerald, they had a good day. They are having a ball. I can tell you that. Me and Jimmy did go Friday. We didn't catch but 8 crappie, but we had 8 nice ones. I saw a lot of crappie. Shane, up there in those stick-ups up there at Liddell Slough, those fish were on those stick-ups just like the time me and you went to Pine Barren, but they wouldn't bite anything. I'd run that jig by them, and they would not bite anything. Yeah. So I was glad to see them in there. Anyway, but now you went to Florida this weekend. Tell us what you did in Florida this weekend.
Oh, we went to Lake Talcott. We went down there and chased some blackfish. Man, I seen a ton of fish, and we caught them pretty good. I got down there late Friday evening, went out and caught 15 or 20 pretty quick, and got an idea where I wanted to go. And we got out, and they're on stumps and brush piles, and some of them are still schooling. Catfish are out there with them like crazy. I bet I caught 20 big catfish this weekend fishing for crappie. But we couldn't get them to hit. Let's see, it was Sunday. They would chase your bait all the way to the top of the water when hit it. So I had to actually tie a 30-second jig and a split shot and a little bitty jig and run it to make the one of Jason Domain's Delta jigs. I had to use a black and green, little bitty 30-second to make those fish take it. That's how we caught our fish Sunday. But we caught plenty. There's plenty of fish down there, but the weather had them messed up too. You had that cold front and that front, and the sun was gone, so it messes with those fish.
All right, Aaron Knight wants to know about the date for the big fish tournament at Roland Cooper State Park next month. He's never fished Millers Ferry.
No, he always fishes Cooter's Pond.
Last year Jason and Mitchell.
Right.
All of them fished it and had a great time. Now, Aaron, this ain't no tournament like you are used to. This is you weigh one fish in every hour, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 and 2 o'clock. It pays $75, $50, and $25 for the three biggest fish every hour. Then at the end of the day, the biggest fish of the day wins $500. And it's just a fun tournament that you can bring your wife and kids and really enjoy it. And it will be the 27th of May. That's the 27th of May. And we would love to have you down here, Aaron.
Hey, he'll come down here and get spoiled. He won't even want to go up there.
If we ever get Aaron down here on Millers,
he won't want to go back up the Cooters.
He been moved down here.
Yeah.
All right, he said he'll be here. All right, we're going to be looking for you, Aaron.
Yeah, that'd be good. That's going to be a good time.
Well, let's talk about that tournament this weekend. The crappie, it used to be the Crappie Masters, but I see they've changed the name to the Alabama Crappie Tournament. And they had a good tournament. They were on Jordan, wasn't they, this weekend? Yes,
that's where they was. They was on Jordan.
Eric Cagle and John and Jessica. It was some Scott Mitchell's on here. He said there'll be some sticks there. But the thing about this tournament, Scott and Aaron and all you professional fishermen, you got to catch a big fish. I've seen grandmama win it. I've seen win it. So it's just who's got the big fish every hour and who's got the big fish. Everybody's got the same chance, and it's a lot of fun. It sure is. But talk about the tournament. The Jordan tournament a minute, Shane.
Oh, man, everybody caught a lot of fish. The one I talked to John and I talked to Eric. I talked to Eric a little bit before the tournament, and they were catching tons of fish, but he thinks it's a down cycle right now. There were not a lot of big fish. Of course, Aaron weighed in, I forget what he weighed in, 11 pounds. I don't know what he weighed in. Don't make me lie to y'all, but he had some pretty good fish. But everybody caught a lot of fish. It was hard to get that pound and 3/4, pound 60, 2 pound fish. They just couldn't, a lot of people couldn't find that fish, but they said they caught tons of fish though.
Well, I can't wait till the 27th to get them all down here. Now, Joe Allen, this Saturday at the IP Employees Tournament, I understand that you are teaming up with Travis. And the last time Travis was in my boat, he did pretty good catching some of them crappie now.
And I told him, my boat probably still going to be in the shop. We may use your boat.
Yeah, you welcome.
I'm going to make him run a trolling motor and live scope.
Well, he did it the other day, and he know he can do it. He's got to learn it. But the only way to learn it, Shane, is time on the water and time.
I get behind it and go. Hey, I get questions every day. Hey, I say, buddy, I ain't trying to be ugly, but hey, you got to get behind that thing and go.
Yeah, and I can tell you this right now, Shane Jones has got my live scope dialed in. If y'all take my boat and mess it up now, I'm gonna be a mad man.
Well, it'll be him that does it, but that's what we're gonna fish in it, and we probably gonna stay Roland Cooper south, and we're gonna do what y'all did that day. We're
Yeah.
gonna go straight to the brush piles and hunt
That's
those
right.
fish that done spawned out before we go.
Yeah, I'm hoping those female crappie are out of their little lull and get out there and start eating. That's what I'm hoping, because they
Yeah.
go through a little
They
through a little old lull where they don't want to eat, and
Hey,
they ought to be moved out.
Scott Mitchell said he needs an IP employee directory. And I'm gonna tell you what now, they give away some stuff. I guarantee you they give away $10,000 worth of stuff at that IP employees, and the best ribs you ever ate. Hannah's ribs is going to be cooking them ribs. It's going to be a big deal, but it is an employees only tournament. How are you fishing it, Joe Allen? Because you got
because Allen is, I got a blood relative that works there, and they let me slide in, thank goodness. But I go to fishing for only one reason, and that's to get some Randy Hanna's ribs.
That's a darn truth. That's a darn truth. Hey, Taylor said he's hoping to have your boat ready, Joe Allen, but he's run into another snag. But don't worry about that boat. They use my boat. That boat Joe Allen's got, it's obsolete anyhow. He needs to upgrade everything on that boat. He needs one of them new XL boats sitting on that lot. Taylor's what he needs.
Well, when Taylor gets mine fixed, then I'm gonna leave it on his lot and try to sell it. I need to buy me a new boat. I got to upgrade.
Amen. That's what I'm talking about, Joe.
Yeah, Freddie said that he's got IP stock. Reckon he can fish in that tournament. Wayne Edgeworth said he is catching some big sour crappies busting with eggs. That's up on Lake Mitchell, and he thought they would be already laid.
Well, they still carry eggs for a while, even though they get a little flat. They carry eggs. They'll carry eggs all the way through July.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're not big veins, they're not gritty like they are in the spawn season, but they'll have those eggs still in them for a couple months till they deteriorate on them.
All right, Joe, I'm going to do you like Kevin. You fishing in a tournament this weekend, but tell us what you're going to do if somebody's coming that ain't fishing in a tournament that wants to catch some crappie this weekend. What are y'all going to do?
I think there's enough fish done spawn to where we can hit the brush piles. And that's what I'm going to key on, because them finicky fish in the grass and around some of the stumps can be a little more fickle. So I'm gonna start on the lower end and work back up, and I'm gonna hit nothing but brush piles on out there in 9-10 foot of water, because I think, for me personally, I think those fish ain't been hammered yet. Everybody's been hammering the bank, hammering those small stumps in 3 to 4 foot of water. So I'm going to drop out there and start hitting those fish. And I'm going to start, like I said, on the lower end and work my way back to the state park.
All right. You going to just throw jigs, or you going to take minnows? What you going to do?
Really, right now, I'm gonna still throw jigs. I ain't going to fool with no minnows. Now, if it was later on in the year, I'd probably carry a few minnows.
Yeah.
But right now, they'll hit a jig a whole lot quicker than they will a minnow. I mean, they gonna hit that jig.
That's right.
That what you do, Shane? You coming this weekend? You got clients this weekend, Shane? Is that what
I do? I got 2 guys Saturday. We're gonna go down there and see if we can go find some ourselves.
All right. Where you gonna look?
Oh, same thing, Joel. Secondary cover off the bank. I'm gonna look at some stake beds, some brush piles, some stumps. I'm gonna check some open water. I have to cover a lot of water, and that's what I'm gonna do till I figure out where they are in relations to the, if they're in towards the mouth, if they're in mid creek, they're in the back of the creek. I'm hoping they're mid creek and towards out, and they're, hopefully they're bunched up, and those black crappie especially, I hope they're bunched up on some structure where we can pop some eaters and have a good day.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I do too. All right, let's switch to the pond. Pond fishing is wide open now. The Bibb County Public Lakes open. The Monroe County Public Lakes open. The The Dallas County Lake is not open yet, but I understand they are working on it. And Todd says he's gonna make the announcement and let us know when they do open it. But they doing a whole lot of work. Todd, the weigh-in at the IP tournament will be 2:00 Saturday at Roland Cooper State Park, and so old Jared Hudson them been catching the heck out of some bass and brim in these ponds. Now I want to know when the brim are gonna go on bed in the lake. That's what I need to know, because Shane done found one brim bed, and you know where it ought to be some in that slough behind your house, Joe Allen.
Yeah, I mean, the rule of thumb is first full moon in May. First
Yeah.
full moon in May is when your river brim go to hitting the bed hard.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I know some shell crackers. They're catching some in Eufaula, Lake Eufaula in Alabama. They're starting to pop some shell crackers down there.
But shell cracker are earlier than a bluegill. They're a little bit early.
That big bed I found upriver. I mean, that is. I was talking and seeing it on my side scan. That thing's 40 yards long.
That's where I want to go. That's where I want to go.
We'll go up there, Big Daddy, and go up there and fill us a cooler full of them.
I got something farm. Old Sarah Parvin up there, that girl that does it, trying to raise that world record brim. She told me how to catch them bluegill, and I got the weapons to catch them.
There we go.
All I need is some to throw at. That's all I need.
We'll go up there and see what we can do with them.
All right, turkey season. We in mid-turkey season. We did have a report from Eddie Salter, a great report from him. That man is all over the world, Joe Allen. He is in Florida one weekend, Tennessee the next weekend, Mississippi. He's going to Pennsylvania. He's going to South Carolina. He is wide open, so.
I don't see how he keeps up.
I don't either.
I know Eddie's got a few more years on than I do. And ain't no way I could do that. But
yeah, Eddie's my age.
My hat's off to him.
He's 70 years old. He sure is.
Yeah.
All right. Hugh Edwards, Hugh. He killed a whopper, 1 3/4 spur. That was a big old turkey. Now, Shane, you know him. I don't know.
Yeah, I know Hugh. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big old bird.
But it is, and you got a report from Todd, didn't you say, Joe Allen? What did Todd say about the turkeys in Clark?
Well, Todd, he's done killed 2, but he called up 2 more for others too. Shannon has killed only 1, and Dylan, Jerry's son, he killed 1, and he done missed 3. And I'm trying to sell him a gun now. I think his barrel's bent.
He needs a gun or some bullets, one.
Yeah, but anyway, me and Todd talked about it. Said that the turkeys are really about 3 weeks early this year, far along. And we said it's unusual weather. We had that hot weather and spurred them on a little bit faster, but still, the turkeys they're fooling with, they, like I said, Shannon was fooling with 1 this morning that he chased over 1.5 miles, almost 2 miles. But when they're doing that, usually they're trailing a hen. And I've seen other turkeys, and Todd said that he's hearing them gobble a time or 2, then hit the ground, and then they trail a little old hen. But what they're doing, me and him thought, the hens are staying with them for a little while. Then they go into the nest and, they lay an egg. And then they'll come back and trail around with him. And the next day do the same thing, lay another egg. So we're waiting on them to get ready to finish laying eggs. That's going to be probably within the next week or 2 weeks. And then they'll go to gobbling real good again and be, listen to your collie because he ain't got no hen around. So what I'm saying is we still got plenty of time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it goes through May, the first week in May. Yeah, so it's plenty of time. The turkeys are still doing their thing. I mean, it's just, it ain't slowed down any, I don't think.
No, they're just going through a little lull because the hens are hanging around with them. And once that's over with, really, if you get him to gobble, he's coming.
All right, Todd wants to know what time to weigh in, and I was talking about the IP weigh in at 2:00, Todd, but you were probably talking about the Alabama Catfish Series at the Selma City Marina Saturday. That's one you'll probably cover, Marshall's tournament up there, but it'll be, I think, at 3:00 is what time it is. All right, Joe Allen, Dunn Sports, Thomasville, Alabama. What you got you need to get rid of?
We still got a few turkey yippers left, but the big thing is we got a lot of AFSCO shorts and shirts come in. We got a new line of flip-flops that's come in for the guys, for the summertime. Some sandals, and a good sandal is really hard to find.
Yeah.
I need some new ones. I blew mine out the other day.
Yeah.
Brian Taylor said the Alabama Catfish Series weigh-ins at 4:00 Saturday, 4:00.
But we got that. We got a lot of tackle coming in. We still got, live crickets, minnows, worms, everything for the guy wants some live bait and froze bait too. And that's going to come into really, really play this year with, having a hard time finding bait. So we're going to, I'm glad we got a lot of froze bait.
Josh Robinson said him and Camp Chef Todd had a good hunt the other morning.
Yeah, so that was the one of the ones Todd watched die. He called and helped. He said they could have doubled up, but they didn't realize it was two coming in, two gobblers. So just one guy had the gun up. If he'd knew that, he would have got one that morning.
All right, I do want to mention this for Dunn Sports because this is an investment to any of you guys listening that love fried fish, catfish, crappie, bass. One of those Cajun cookers is not expensive. It's an investment. I don't think $300 or $400, but let me tell you that you'll never have to buy another fish cooker. You can buy one of them $100 fish cookers, and you have to replace it in 2 years. You buy one of them Cajun cookers at Dunn Sport, I'm telling you what, and you a testimony for them, Joe Allen, many fish you done cook. One of them 4-gallon ones is, I'm telling you, it is top of the line.
Well, we got two things there. We got those, and like I said, with them, I actually save money because it doesn't burn the grease.
Yeah.
It has a thermometer right on the front. You can watch your temperature. Now, you keep saying, well, I'm the best fry cook, but the thing about being a good fry cook is knowing what your grease temperature is all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's funny. I fried a lot of fish, different species of fish, and I fried so much fish that different species of fish require a different temperature. Yep. Like crappie and bass, they fry real quick, and you get up around 300 and start with them. But say you got catfish or some of those saltwater fish like red snapper and all, you need to heat a little bit hotter. It takes a little bit more for them. But you play with one of those cookers, you can be a whiz at it too. The other thing is you gotta have one of those flip and fry made by Lim to Batter Pro. That's the best way to do your fish. Batter them up with that thing, and it works real quick. With that cooker of mine, I can probably feed 10 or 15 folks there and start cooking and through within 45 minutes. Have it all ready.
And that's what Julie says. She said you can't eat it fast enough to keep up with that cooker. You really can't. And I can tell you this too, Shane. You was there the other night when Donna D fried those pickles.
Right, man, you ate plenty of them.
She was right. They were good.
They were really good. We ate good that night.
We sure did. But a Cajun cooker, if you don't have one, a Cajun fryer, I'm telling you, it is an investment if you like to eat fried anything.
Well, like Joe Allen, how long do you keep that grease in that cooker, Joe Allen?
I usually run it 6 months.
That's what I thought. Because
And you feed a lot of people, Joe
yeah,
Allen.
he is what he's telling y'all. It's shaped like a V in the bottom, and the burner's up here, so all the crumbs go to the bottom.
Yeah,
So the burner never gets the crumbs hot, so the grease doesn't burn. So
it's
great
right.
amazing invention. Amazing.
Yeah, my buddies had one for years, and I seen Joe Allen's. It gets a workout, and you can't hurt them. The burner might go out, but you can buy a burner.
And they ain't made out of no flimsy stuff.
Oh, no,
They quarter inch. I don't know if it's quarter inch, but it's pretty thick iron they made out of.
Yes, sir. They are. They're good.
The only bad thing about it makes so darn much racket. That's all.
It sounds like a jet.
Yeah, sound like a jet plane. All right, Shane. Tomorrow night, Crappie Cast, Thursday night. Who you got? Tell everybody who you got and how to watch tomorrow night.
It'll be John and Jessica, myself, and Greg Goza. He's a local fisherman here. We gave away. I got 2 hats I gave away. I announced the winner to that.
Oh, good looking Crappie Cast hat.
Yeah, you can see it right there. You can see it right there. Then we gave away 2 hats, and John gave away a rod. We're gonna announce the winners for that. And then we're gonna give away something else. Y'all just have to tune in tomorrow night. We always gonna give something away. So.
And it's a good show. I tell you, I always enjoy it. I watch it on my TV. I watch it on YouTube.
You can watch it on you. We link to YouTube and Facebook, so you can. But we're gonna also gonna mention the end of the month, April the 29th. We're gonna be at CT Ward Power Sport.
That's right. I forgot that. Yeah, and
actually, I was gonna tell everybody, if you get a chance, I'm gonna have both update cards for the GPS map and the Echo Map series. If you want to update your unit and put some settings in, I'm gonna charge $25. Period. You can bring it in there, and I'll put the exact settings that mine has. I'll update your unit. So bring your boat.
That's a deal. That's a deal.
If I have a GPS map, you're welcome to call or message me. We can actually put it on by cord. But if you want to bring your boat by there or whatever, they're gonna be cooking, and I'm gonna update people's units. I got both cards because I'm always running into people that don't have their stuff, updated now. And I'm like, man, you kind of handicapping yourself. Let's just update it. And I've got to do one here in a little bit at 6 o'clock. So
yeah,
y'all come on by there.
That's on the 29th of this month.
That's right.
Yeah. So
hey, $25. Come on, and I'll update it. Put the same settings that I have, like Big Daddy was just talking about his.
Mine is dialed in. Mine is. I guarantee you, it's.
There's no doubt I'm going to have 15 today because I am dialed in on them. I guarantee 15 today. There's no doubt.
Mine's dialed in, I guarantee you.
But yeah, everybody come on out to that. That's April 29th. It's a Saturday. Hey, we're going to talk crappie. If you bring your boat by, I'll update your unit. Any questions you got, I'm going to be there and let you pick my brain, and we'll just talk. So.
Yeah, and Taylor says they're gonna have the new XL bass boat there on display.
Oh yeah,
they just announced that today.
Yeah, I think it's coming out in June. That's a good looking boat too.
Yeah. All right, Ronnie McKenzie said he'll be there with his boat. So we're gonna have.
I'll be waiting on there, buddy. We'll get it figured out, and I love helping people, man, because when they tell me they've caught a bunch of fish because of something I helped them with, I like it. So
yes, sir. Well, I can tell you on behalf of Travis Powell, he can tell you about that live scope. Now, he caught 3 nice crappie up there.
He did tell me that night when y'all got back. He said, hey, he got to see it work. And hey, if you pay that much money for that equipment, you want it to work right. I mean,
that's right. That's exactly right.
You don't want to be frustrated going fishing. I mean, the learning curve as far as, knowing what you're looking at and everything, but you got to have it right dialed in. So that's what we're going to help people do.
All right, Crappie Cast tomorrow night. Joe Allen, he's going to be fishing in the IP tournament, and hopefully.
There's no doubt I'm going to have 15 today because I am in on.
It makes me laugh every time.
There's no doubt I'm going to have.
All right, Joe Allen, you and Travis, I'm going to be pulling for you now.
All right. We ain't going to let you down.
All right.
They going to get them.
All right, y'all stand by. Thanks, everybody, for listening, and we'll see y'all next week. As always, thanks, everybody, and thanks for all the support for the podcast and keeping up with us. And we'll see y'all same time, same place next week. Kevin will probably be back next week, and we'll have a heap to talk about rodeos, I guarantee you. See y'all next week.
Pap taught me every critter's track and how to set a hair trigger on a trap. He taught me to shoot, scale, and skin, and make a snare with a leather strap. He taught me to be a part of the woods and all his woodsy tricks. Said you gotta walk soft on 2 light feet and try not to break no stick. I thank Daddy for my savvy, how to hunt and how to carry anything that I might need to get a piece of skillet meat. How to walk and how to hide, how to crawl and how to slide, how to sneak, stalk, and climb and do it all on 2 light feet.